I'll start it off, Keith, right off the bat. I know you've been saying for about a week now how excited you are. What is the most exciting aspect to you about getting the gang back together and doing this unique event?
Well, we haven't seen each other in a long time, most of us. Everybody scatters, and it's a chance to get everybody to get their comments in and get their opinions as the game progresses. I think it's a fantastic idea. So I'm looking forward to it.
Ronnie, have you seen this game at all? By the way, are you watching what we're seeing right now? I am. That is a nice looking Bobby Ojeda right there.
Bobby O's looking good in the sport coat. Well, two things. Longtime fan of Game 6, first time viewer of Game 6. And if this was such a big event, is that your best outfit that you could drop on us tonight? I mean, come on.
Like it?
Come on.
It's a little casual, but
there's that slider you like to throw.
I mean, it's not as casual as Keith, though. Look at what Keith's wearing. He's got a nice T-shirt on.
Keith cranked the tank on.
Keith's an MVP.
Yeah.
As we watch this, Bobby, I want to get to you last, but Doc, what are your memories just as we're getting set up for this game? What are you thinking about in those moments before Game 6 where you're just going to be a spectator?
I'm just looking forward to it. I've seen bits and pieces of Game 6, and like Keith mentioned earlier, just getting back together with a lot of the guys because I haven't seen a lot of them in so long. It's been good to talk to them and watch the game together. I think it's going to be great. I think it was a great idea you guys came up with, and I'm looking forward to it.
Ray and the kid were probably the only two adults in the room. I remember Ray was on the DL in the training room, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, but he and I ended up wrestling. And we ended up on the floor. I don't know how it happened. And you know how, like, you wrestle, it's all fun, and then it starts to get to be less fun. And Davey Johnson came in and screamed, cut it out, cut it out. And he said, darling, you're fined $500. I said, what about him? He goes, he's an everyday player. We need him. $500 fine.
Daryl, how are you?
All right. What's up,
D?
What's up, Nuxie?
What's up,
Daryl?
What's up, Ronnie D and Bobby?
How you doing, D?
What's up?
Bobby
Daryl Strawberry here. Daryl, we are live. You're joining us. We are live. No, you're good. You're good. We are live.
I was talking to Bobby O. We still can use his finger for 88.
Hey, let me tell you something about 88, you knucklehead. Got you to the playoffs, all right? I helped win this thing. I got you to the playoffs, and you go out to L.A. and you fall on your face and you choke and you give it up. That's on you, my friend. That ain't on me. You choked. You didn't win without me. So why don't you?
That was on you, man.
Why don't you just own it, brother? Why don't you just own it?
Own it.
Own it, man. You didn't win. You didn't win. That's on you. That's on you.
What happened to you?
What happened to you? I can't believe you're still alive. Yeah.
Guys, by the way, I don't know if you saw it, but right at the end of that inning after the third, when Buckner was running off, it's pretty clear that his legs are not there. And they've mentioned it already 2 or 3 times on the broadcast. It's actually amazing to go back and watch this broadcast, knowing what happens, and see how often Vin and Garagiola talk about Buckner's legs. How prevalent was that in your minds in that series, just what he was dealing with and especially Daryl Rafi as offensive guys, keeping that in the back of your mind when you're up at the plate?
Well, I don't think we really ever thought about that because I've always seen Buckner as a great player, all-around player. We didn't think about, his injuries and running off the field. I think that process with him being on the field, staying in the game was just, part of who he was as an everyday player. I think that goes for everyday players. They think, well, if we're going to win, I want to win. If we're going to lose, I want to be out here on the losing end. And I'm quite sure he was kind of feeling the same way, just pushing through that ball game. And, they hammered him about it for so long in the media and in Boston. But you think about, as that game unfolds, you think about Calvin Schiraldi and Stanley. They couldn't get nobody out. The opportunities were still there, and when you look at the game and you go back and you replay that game over and over. And I just remember standing in Davey's office with Keith, I just remember that, and he was like don't move. You know, we're just going to hang out. So I think Billy Buckner got a raw deal more than anything.
Sorry, guys. But I lost a little bit of connection.
Oh,
Well, Rafi, bad news.
What was it?
You're not in the game anymore.
Really? They got me, yeah. They finished that hit for me into a double play, ain't it?
That's right.
But I'll tell you what was going on in there. When you reach 218, that's what happened.
You could have done that yourself, huh, Ralphie?
I could have done that too.
Wow.
McNamara said that Clemens asked out of the game, but a lot of people don't believe that. What do you guys think?
Well, Clemens denies it, for one thing.
Yeah.
Well, you got, he said.
well, I know them both. I believe Roger. I don't believe the man at all.
Wow.
Hey, we got Roger McDowell. Roger, you hear us?
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Raji,
Hey,
Right.
what's up, buddy?
how are you?
Hey, Roger.
Hey, fellas, how are you? It's everybody. Hey, I got a quick question, if you don't mind. Is Mex walking the dog again?
Yes.
Okay. And he got rid of the tripod bike.
No, he still got that. Still got the tripod
Really?
bike.
Oh, that's right. There it is. I can see in the picture. It looks like a
By the way,
wheelchair from here.
He uses walking the dog in the booth for to get out of working for an inning.
Chief, you said it's a gut punch. What's the atmosphere change as soon as that ball gets barreled up?
It's like I said, we've just fought like we're paddling upstream the whole postseason, and we had an opportunity to win the game and we don't, and they come back and do this. I remember at first base, it was just a very sinking feeling. It was only one run, but it's like, here we go again. How many times can we come off the canvas?
I mean, they just showed the Red Sox dugout again. They think they have this. You said that really was getting to you as you were watching it. Was it because they thought they had it, or just you couldn't believe it?
No, it's because they had it. And I thought we were a much better ball club. I really did. Lineup, pitching, defense, we were a much better ball club. And we were about to lose to an inferior ball club. And it was a bitter pill. No one, like Charles saying, in that locker room, who was in there was not happy. And we're down 2, and it looks ugly, no question. And then it gets uglier before it gets pretty. I had no happiness for any of my friends on that side. None whatsoever.
So, Keith, you're telling people not to move at this point, right? In the Davies office?
Yes. I'm in that one chair in front of Davies' desk, and that sucker had hits in it. I wasn't moving.
Toilet paper. Max, I just want to know, did you have a Frosty?
I had a Frosty. I did pull a little bottled Mick out of my bucket. Here comes Mook.
Yeah.
And in comes Stanley.
Stanley.
Rich, that was
I'll pitch Stanley.
for you, right?
Stanley coming in.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Wow.
How about those stems?
How about him?
My God.
For those that were in the clubhouse, did it feel like Shea was going to collapse on you?
It was rocking.
I was underneath. I was and it was like being at Madison Square Garden at a full house at a Springsteen concert. It was just like,
I was down in the tunnel in the towel, peeking around the edge.
Look at Mookie battling.
yeah.
Yeah, he is.
And I still say to this day, Mookie's I think anybody else hits this ground ball but Mookie. We go
Right.
we continue the game. But Buckner knew all about Mookie, that Mookie busted every at bat to first base. Buckner had to get his butt over there, and I think that's why he opened up the floodgates.
I mean, the wild pitch came on pitch 7, the ground ball to Buckner on pitch 10. That is amazing under that kind of pressure.
Yeah.
Look at that.
If Buckner fills the ball clean, you guys think Mookie beats it out?
I don't know.
Mookie said,
He said he would've.
yeah.
I think he beats it out. I think he beats it out.
Yeah. Well, you look like Buckner was moving. You watch the play when you see it in slow motion, you'll see it.
But if he beats it out, the runner doesn't score.
Right.
Right.
That ground ball
There
had
it is.
air all
Oh my
over it.
gosh.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
man, you gotta be kidding me.
there he goes.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
No way.
wow.
Never gets old.
Not that there.
No.
Imagine what it felt for the fans.
Oh my God.
Huh?
I don't know how me and Keith got at the bottom of that pal.
Oh,
My God.
And it goes back to what Daryl was talking about before. Those 55,000 were as tough for Daryl. Both those 55,000 stayed because they never knew what they might see.
right.
Yeah.
They never knew what might happen, and ultimately something like this happens.
What a victory.
What a team.
Mm.
The amazing Mets.
What a
I
team.
love you guys, man.
Yeah.
Hey, we
Too,
might
man.
as well sing our record right now. Strong, Doc.
Yeah.
Mesmerized.
George Foster.
Mesmerized.
That's right. Yeah. What a team. Put our wigs on for red wigs on for
Yeah. Them tight t-shirts.
What a team. What a team, man.
If they
Yes, sir.
take this into the clubhouse, Bobby, we're going to see Dr. Parks and others in there, all congratulating people.
There's a line.
Mhm.
But how about Kid? You know, we're looking at Kid. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know.
I know he meant so much to us, coming over in
Very missed.
85 and becoming a part of us, and just, the way he was and the way he handled the pitching staff. And we got that right-hand bat in the lineup that was just big for us, and he always came through with some big hits. Remember the home runs in Boston and that big base hit in the playoffs against the Astros, and then that hit to start off that. Come on, man. It's just,
Right.
Oh
like
my.
I know I came in late,
Always
but one of
smiling
the
for the
things,
cameras.
I know I came in late, but and you probably already said it before, but one of the things that Kid always did was he played hurt.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did.
He played hurt.
He didn't want to take a Sunday off, did he?
No.
Oh,
Never wanted to take that Sunday.
But I think that was the wise thing to do with his knees, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
when
One
they
thing he always did, he caught every game, is that he always ran onto the field, even though it was a short burst out to home plate, but he ran on the field and ran off the field at the end of the inning all the time.
Still had that smile on his face when he had pain on him.
Yeah. Well, just like I always said, there's no team greater than the 86 Mets. The 86 Mets will live forever. The history of us, man, will live forever.
And no greater players that I ever played with right here.
Right here, exactly. Yes, man. We had so much fun.
Right. Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you guys, man. Love you guys.
All right, man.